This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. For decades, Rolex has epitomized elegance, distinction, and lasting craftsmanship. Possessing a Rolex signifies accomplishment and status. However, what if the journey to owning one is more complex than it seems? In today's video brought to you by the luxury world, we will explore the unexpected realm of Rolex Authorized Dealers or ADs, revealing practices that question the brand's reputation for exclusivity and fairness. Get ready to uncover the long-standing actions of some ADs that may surprise you. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, we encourage you to do so now to stay informed about our future videos. The watch market is an intriguing domain, catering to a diverse array of tastes spanning from traditional luxury to contemporary preferences. On one side, the enduring demand for esteemed brands like Rolex remains robust, buoyed by the increasing prosperity of a global elite and the enduring allure these timepieces embody as symbols of status. Simultaneously, there is a growing emphasis on personalization. Consumers seek watches that mirror their distinctiveness, with options for customized dials, engravings, and straps gaining popularity. Moreover, there is a convergence of technology and tradition, as smartwatches evolve beyond mere fitness trackers to become stylish alternatives offering advanced functionalities. For enthusiasts of heritage, there is a notable resurgence in vintage watches, providing distinctive and timeless pieces. Furthermore, the watch market is embracing inclusivity, with a rise of unisex designs that appeal to a wider audience. Additionally, environmentally conscious consumers are spearheading the adoption of sustainable materials in watch manufacturing, reflecting a growing awareness of ecological concerns within the industry. Today we will discuss the Rolex brand, as we mentioned earlier. Important things are happening with the authorized dealers right now. ADs are finally reaching out to customers on waiting lists for years. But do you know why they're doing this? Let us explain the reason. Now, the reason ADs are calling customers who have been on waiting lists is because the watch market is dead. The ADs' primary customers were gray market watch dealers, and these dealers are not buying from the ADs right now. You might think the ADs were selling these watches to the gray market dealers at MSRP, but they were not. For example, if an AD had a Submariner 41mm with a green bezel and black dial, which costs around $9,000, they would sell it to gray market dealers for $14,000 or $15,000. Yes, you heard that right, $14,000 to $15,000. The funny thing is, ADs get a 40% discount on these watches from Rolex. So, if a watch costs $10,000, the AD gets it for $6,000. They are double-dipping by making money from the Rolex brand at the AD store and then selling the watches out the back door to the gray market. They sell models like Daytonas and Submariners this way. ADs are also operating as gray market watch dealers. That is right, they are themselves gray market dealers. Here is what is happening. The more popular the watch, the higher the price from the AD to the gray dealers. How often have you heard of someone buying a Rolex yellow gold Daytona with a green dial from an AD? It is exceedingly rare, though it does happen occasionally. Mostly, gray market dealers get these watches. They do not pay the MSRP of $37,600. Instead, they pay the AD in the high $50,000 or mid $60,000. Now, ADs do not have these gray market dealers buying from them, and they do not want to be stuck with these watches. Not all ADs do this, but a significant percentage are involved in the gray watch market. That is right, ADs are also gray market dealers, but they operate through the back door. Now, people are calling, saying they just got a call from their AD out of the blue. One person said they finally got the watch they wanted, and another said they received an unexpected call from their AD. As previously mentioned, a Rolex AD should not be confused with a non-official Rolex dealer or reseller. Many companies and dealers specialize in selling second-hand watches, but these entities are never able to purchase watches directly from Rolex. While some Rolex ADs have begun selling pre-owned watches, they are still the only ones who receive brand new watches directly from Rolex and must adhere to the contractual rules set by Rolex. Non-official Rolex retailers, on the other hand, do not have a contract with Rolex and operate according to market principles. Unlike ADs, they acquire their watches from clients, private collectors, and other individuals looking to sell. Without a contract with Rolex, these retailers can set any prices they choose for their watches but cannot purchase Rolex watches at wholesale prices like ADs can. When ADs buy directly from Rolex, they typically mark up the watches by about 30 to 45% when selling at the recommended retail prices, depending on the model and the tax rate. In some regions like in Europe, value-added tax is included in a final sale price and ranges from 15 to 25%, which naturally affects their margins. While this markup might seem high, Rolex ADs have many associated costs that impact on their final profit margins. The world of buying and selling pre-owned Rolex watches can be quite perplexing. Both the gray market and the secondary market are involved in these transactions, but with key differences. The secondary market is a broad category that includes all sales of used Rolexes, no matter who is selling them. This could be a resolute pre-owned watch retailer, an online marketplace, or even an acquaintance looking to sell their watch. Prices in this market are influenced by supply and demand, so highly sought-after models can command a significant premium over their original price. The gray market is a more specific subset within the secondary market. Here, the sellers are unauthorized dealers who obtain their watches from various sources, including private sellers or sometimes even authorized dealers with excess inventory. Since gray market dealers operate outside of Rolex's official channels, they often have a wider selection, especially for popular models that are difficult to find at authorized dealers. However, buying from the gray market carries the risk of not receiving the official Rolex guarantee or paperwork that comes with purchases from authorized sources. Prices in the gray market can also vary based on the specific watch and current market trends. Our advice to all of you on a waiting list: go to your ADs and remind them you are still interested in a watch. Rolex ADs are now releasing watches, so make sure to visit your ADs and let them know you are still eager to purchase. Here is what is happening. The gray market is no longer buying watches from ADs through the back door because they do not want to be stuck with them. Do not believe anyone who says otherwise. The watch market is dead. You will soon be able to buy Rolex watches at retail prices, but you need to visit your dealers in person and let them know you are still interested and have been waiting for your watch. Watches are appearing everywhere, in the United States, Europe, and the Caribbean, simply because the secondary gray market is not buying from the ADs anymore. They do not want to be stuck with unsellable inventory. Watches are dropping in value daily. They are becoming a dead commodity. We're telling you what is happening with Rolex ADs and their operations. Not all ADs are like this, but about 60% of them have been selling Rolex watches to gray market dealers through the back door. However, this is no longer happening because the gray market dealers are not buying anymore. A brand new Rolex Rose Gold Root Bear for $43,000. The watch market is dead. For those of you who want a Rolex, now is the time to run to your AD and let them know you are still interested in getting that watch. We hope you learned something from this. Rolex ADs have been selling watches to the gray market through the back door. They were not selling at MSRP but at inflated prices. For example, if a watch costs $10,000, they are selling it for $15,000. The higher the demand, the higher the price. A platinum Daytona that costs $90,000 might be sold by the AD for $130,000. What are your impressions on the topic that we shared in this video? If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you let us know by leaving a comment and giving it a thumbs up. Do not forget to follow our channel for more content. Thank you for watching The Luxury World, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming videos.